trying to run through a quick tabletop video of the SureFire XC1 pistol light. The XC1 was actually announced at SHOT Show 2015 earlier this year, and I actually posted a short news blurb and a photo of the XC1 on my SHOT Show 2015 After Action report on my blog at okabj.net. That being said, these XC1s have just slowly started trickling out to retailers. I got my XC1 through Raven Concealment Systems, who are very well known for their Phantom and Phantom LC outside the waistband Kydex holsters. They had a promo deal where you can get one of the first runs of the XC1 along with their Phantom LC holster. So I went ahead and pre-ordered from them because I wanted to get an XC1 fairly quickly because I was very interested in trying one out. That being said, the XC1, or this one, just arrived this past week. And the first thing I noticed, as you can see here, compared to my X300 original and the X300 Ultra, is the size is significantly smaller. We're talking, as far as weight and size is concerned, the XC1 weighs in at 1.6 ounces, including the single AAA battery that it's powered by, versus the X300 Ultra, which weighs in at 4 ounces, including the two 123A batteries it's powered by. The X300 original, it also runs on two 123A batteries, and I think it weighs in around the same weight at 4 ounces or just under that. As far as length is concerned, the XC1 is 2.375 inches long versus 3.6 inches on the X300 Ultra and slightly shorter on the X300 original. The power output, the lumen output, is actually in between these two. So the XC1 has a rating of 200 lumens with a tactical runtime 1.5 hours versus the X300 Ultra, which runs at 500 lumens with a tactical runtime of 1.5 hours. The X300 actually had a tactical runtime of 2.5 hours, but it had a power output of 170 lumens. So the XC1 comes in between, so it's just better than X300, but less than X300 Ultra, which is not bad considering it's powered by a single AAA battery. And just a side note, the X300 Ultra was upgraded or updated to the X300 Ultra B or Bravo. That new unit runs at 600 lumen output, and I think the attack runtime is still 1.5. And I believe all they did to change that from the X300 Ultra to the X300 Ultra Bravo is replace the LED unit, and I think they changed out the latch mechanism for a more universal latch mechanism versus the UP mechanism we have here and the swappable Picatinny mechanism that also comes in the box with the X300 Ultra. Anyway, all this translates to, as far as the XC1 is concerned, is a very compact and lightweight form factor. You do sacrifice power output compared to the X300 Ultra, but you do get a nice cone of light. And I did take some photos of what the light looks like coming out of the XC1 on target versus, say, the X300 and the X300 Ultra. What you're going to find with the X300 and the X300 Ultra is that it's very tightly focused on the center with sort of a rapid fall off from center. It's very noticeable in the X300, which has a lower lumen output, and you can see it's very tightly focused and it falls off dramatically, versus the X300 Ultra, which actually has a high lumen output, so you don't really see that fall off from center as much because you get a lot of bounce back and whatnot, especially at close range. The XC1 has a very wider shape on its cone of light, so the 200 lumen output is spread fairly wide, but it still gives good illumination on center. And you can see how that is due to the fact of the bezel size. The bezel size on the XC1 is 0.375 inches versus 1.125 inches on the X300 Ultra. So as far as that's concerned, I think most people will be very satisfied with the quality of light that comes out of the XC1 on target, and you won't have any problems, especially in short distance, because a lot of people complain that, hey, 500 lumens out of the X300 Ultra is too powerful, especially in indoors. You get too much bounce back on the light. If that's the case, then the XC1 is going to satisfy your needs perfectly fine. It has a crossbar mechanism to turn on, so if constant on is just left side of just tap it on the left, turn on, and then right side, just hit the crossbar back to turn it off. You have a momentary on based on these two ears on the back. It's basically just kind of tilt it down to rock it down, and it turns it on momentarily, which is pretty cool. On the X300 and X300 Ultra, you actually had to push forward for the momentary on, and then you have the constant on the rockers on the back. The one other difference between the XC1 and say the X300 units, or the X300 series, is the fact that versus the UP latch, I have to use a tool on my Glocks to put this on. With the X300 Ultra, I mean, it's very easy to just snap it on, snap it off with the UP mechanism. It's a very fast latch mechanism, doesn't require tools. But the XC1, I have to use a flathead screwdriver. Kind of a negative aspect if you're a Glock shooter, if you're used to the SureFire X300 Ultra units with the UP latches installed. So it's kind of cool that you're able to just take off the light very quickly. So if you need a handheld and you don't have a handheld on you, you can use your pistol light as a handheld light. But just gonna screw that on real quickly. But as you can see here, the XC1 and the Glock 19 is very flush on center, or on the front of the muzzle of the gun. This is significantly different compared to, say, the X300 Ultra, which has that large bezel that extrudes from the pistol, from the muzzle of the pistol. And that's just by virtue of the fact that you have such a powerful LED unit on your light, and you have to have two large batteries powering it. So I think a lot of people are going to appreciate the compact size of the SureFire XC1. I do like it. It balances quite well. With the X300 Ultra, you get that front heavy feeling to it. And granted, it's nice to have this when you're shooting rapid fire because you can recover from recoil faster. But at the same time, it's very noticeable, and you have a lot to work with as far as being able to manipulate it, especially if you're trying to run in a holster, or if worse off, concealed. This is just a lot of extra bulk added to the gun compared to the XC1, which is what I think is going to try to fit the bills, give you another light, or a light option for people who want to run their compact G19s in a concealment scenario. That being said, like I said, you barely feel this 1.6 ounces on the front end of the gun. It's balanced quite well. I don't have to, when you're working with your holsters, whether or not you have the Raven Concealment Systems holster or some other holsters, such as the Haley Strategic Partners / G-Code holster, which is also available, their INCOG Shadow. This gives you a lot of options as far as running concealed with a light. Granted, for some people, they can't run G19s concealed, but those who can will appreciate the fact that they can run a pistol light on their concealed gun and not have to worry about carrying a handheld as well. Most people will probably run OWB or outside the waistband more comfortably with this gun, but I think at the same time, if you have a larger frame, you can probably get away with running the G19 plus XC1 with something like the G-Code INCOG Shadow holster. But I have a lot more photos on my website because I have a written review on the XC1 that is there. I'm going to post the link in the video description. Definitely check that out to see the photos and more in-depth text as far as my writing on the XC1 compared to the X300 and X300 Ultra, along with the holster options that I do have since I bought the Raven Concealment Systems Phantom LC, which came with this, and I also did buy the Haley Strategic / G-Code INCOG Shadow holster. So go ahead and check out my website. Hopefully this is going to help you a little bit as far as making a decision. I do like the XC1. It's a very handy light. Glad I got a copy or a run of this early on so that I could post my thoughts about this. But again, check out my website at okabj.net for a full review.